Hello, welcome to Riffing with a couple of 90s guys. This is our first take at our podcast. It's basically gonna be about just a couple guys, me and my friend Peter, doing a couple discussions on the 90s and particular 90s cartoons. Well, is that pretty right, Peter? Do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah,
That's the theme of the whole.
It's about right. This is sort of a spin-off from our Zombies to Aliens podcast, because mostly whenever I get talking about with Tony, we'd start talking about cartoons.
Yeah, that's true. So we figured, why not just record this stuff, because we might be saying some interesting things or not. You don't have to listen, but this is just us trying to talk about what we love most, and that is 90s cartoons.
Yes, sir.
So, when you start talking about 90s cartoons, there usually be two camps. People either get into the Nick camp or they get into the Cartoon Network camp. Both are great. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, definitely.
WB
but
sucks.
They're definitely. Yeah, exactly. But there are definitely people who they want a particular, or they prefer a particular network.
Right.
So let's start our first discussion about 90s cartoons with the most important question of all, perhaps. Are you a Nick guy or are you a Cartoon Network guy? And if so, why? Which one wins?
Alright, so yeah, I am basically a Cartoon Network guy. I have been for the longest time, ever since it was actually a station. I remember when, believe it or not, Tony, I remember back in the day there was no Cartoon Network.
What?
Yeah, way back in the day. But yeah, I loved it when it started out. We used to just play reruns of Looney Tunes and old cartoons like that, Flintstones.
Oh yeah.
And then
it
started getting.
It kind of morphed into Hanna-Barbera, right? That whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. And there's another channel called the Boomerang Channel now, which I think is still a channel where they'd still do the old stuff. And then eventually Cartoon Network started making new cartoons. And I have to say my favorite new cartoon that Cartoon Network put out was Dexter's Laboratory. I would watch that every morning to see every new episode. I was a diehard Dexter's Lab. And then even before that, they had Johnny Bravo, I think was before that. And I love Johnny Bravo.
I love Johnny Bravo too. There was always on Cartoon Network this one cartoon. I don't remember the name of it, but it was had some Indian guy, and then it had some white captain guy, and then
Johnny Quest, sir. Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest.
Yes.
What was that all about? I never really got into it.
It's a Hanna-Barbera cartoon where it's Johnny's Quest is the son to this crazy doctor, scientist, inventor guy called Dr. Quest. And Dr. Quest, of course, being a super intelligent inventor and stuff, has all these arch enemies who try to kill him. And so it's basically about Johnny Quest sort of surviving these adventures with his father. And they have their family bodyguard is Ray Spannon. And they adopted a little Indian boy named Haji who can use some mystical powers for some reason.
What the heck, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if maybe when I was younger, maybe I was slightly younger than your generation. I mean, just a couple of years, but that could make a difference in the world of television, I guess. Because that seemed I don't know, maybe too adultish. At least when I remember watching it, it was kind of boring.
You know what? It's kind of reminded me of the old Adam West Batman. It's just it's kind of weird and kind of campy.
That's the word.
I really started to get into it in God, it had to be 1999 maybe when they started to do they revamped it into the real adventures of Johnny Quest, and Johnny Quest became like a teenager, and it was
Oh,
about
what?
him as a teenager, and then I started to really get into it.
That's cool. That's cool. I didn't even know there was a spin-off. Right. So it certainly seems like you're a big Cartoon Network fan.
I am, and you know what? My main thing was, well, now that we're talking about Johnny Quest, and that sounded a little more grown up. I thought Cartoon Network was kind of less grown up than Nickelodeon. I think Nickelodeon has a little more mature stuff, especially like
Hmm.
Hey Arnold and stuff.
I think you're right. So maybe Cartoon Network could be viewed as the goofy side of cartoons. You know, the ones where there is no moral, as we will be discussing more in depth later. But for the Nickelodeon cartoons, it has a kind of like a theme, like a more like of a this is the perspective of a young child, but kind of looked through the eyes of an adult.
Right.
So that is an interesting difference I didn't really quite think about. Cartoon Network did have great cartoons. Some of my favorite cartoons. Matter of fact, the cool thing about Cartoon Network is that I felt comfortable watching it even as like a teenager. Like,
Yeah.
whereas Nick, it lost its many of its best cartoons early on. I think because there was a period in time where you could definitely tell the difference between the '90s cartoons and the 2000s. I did like some of the 2000s, like Drake and Josh. You know, they had like
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
like you said, more like that was like the sitcom that they were going towards, that kind of market.
Right.
But Cartoon Network, on the other hand, still had Scooby Doo. It still had like, um, what was that? Harvey Birdman. I would still
Oh
consider
yeah,
that.
Harvey Birdman.
Yeah, so I mean, they had a lot of good stuff that I would feel comfortable watching with. That was still, in my opinion, '90s,
Right.
rooted in the '90s.
Would you say that? That's a good point. So yeah, for me, I think it's the opposite because I think Nickelodeon stuff has a little more mature, especially nowadays. But we can talk about nowadays to some extent later because I don't know what happened to Nickelodeon Cartoon Network now. I really can't tell you.
I know it's almost as bad. Well, I guess it's not as bad as the Disney Channel though, because that one,
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
that had, that was. I mean, do you remember the TV shows they had on there, like Even Stevens?
Oh man, the great
See,
sitcoms, yeah.
yeah, it's the great sitcoms of they were on the Disney Channel, and that was a great channel. I'm telling you, the golden age of cartoon television was the '90s. I'm thinking maybe slightly early 2000s, but now it feels like as if everything's just Hannah Montana this and I don't know.
Yeah, it was more quality of stuff, I think, and now it's especially the cartoons have kind of degraded as well.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's more about lunacy, I think, just kind of absurdism versus actual intelligent scripting.
Yeah. So would you say you're a Nickelodeon guy?
Ah man, yes, I would say I'm a Nickelodeon guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even though we talked very favorably about Cartoon Network because they are awesome, I still think Nickelodeon takes the cake. They just had so many good shows that I can relate with, and Peter, maybe at the end of the day, what it comes down to is which cable package you were subscribed to,
Yeah, no
because
kidding.
it
Did you
just so
get
happened
Nick
what
or
was on.
Cartoon Network?
Yeah, whatever was on TV that you were watching at the time, that's what you're magnetized to. So I guess for me, maybe it just so happened that Nick was on my television a little bit more, or it was a little bit more available than
Right.
Cartoon Network. Um, let's see. Hey Arnold
Oh,
probably is
yes.
the king of cartoons. I
Still
think
holds up as you watch it as an adult. There's great life lessons
still
in there.
holds up. Yes, the drawings
Yeah.
are the animation was amazing, and the music too. It was very jazzy, very very talented music actually.
Yeah.
Oh, so you see what you got, like it had the whole package cartoons from the '90s. They really did the drawing well, and the stories they're relatable, and I really was a particular fan of the Halloween specials, like
Oh,
the Headless
yes.
Horseman one.
Oh man, yeah. And there's a couple of Ghost Stories ones too.
Yeah, there are the one where Grandpa thinks that there, or the kids think that there's a ghost in the basement, but it turns out when they go hunting for it, that it's just Grandpa taking a shit in the basement.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, right.
That was one of the best
What is that
ones.
god awful sound?
Yeah, it's like, oh. And they're like, whoa. And then they said, oh, and it stinks so bad. It must be the ghost.
I thought one that was really creepy was like the ghost train one. That one was crazy.
Oh, wow. That actually was a crazy one. I just
Yeah.
gives me chills thinking about that one. Good
They
one.
actually
Good one.
get on the train.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
crazy.
god, and it kind of sends them to like hell. They think, like from their
Yeah,
perspective,
but it was like a mining facility or
it was a
something.
mining facility. Yeah, that's scary. That's crazy the way they did it. Oh, and then of course Rugrats. That's a
Oh,
classic as
Rugrats,
well.
yes.
Do you remember that freaking Angelica, and she had that bitch doll Cynthia?
Yeah.
Damn, so fucking. She's so annoying, man. Always about Cynthia.
God damn. My favorite episode that I think it was like a Christmas one, and she tries to be good the whole time just so she can get a Cynthia convertible car. And then when she gets it and opens the trunk of the convertible, there's a coal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. That is incredible.
I was like, justice.
Justice is served. Sweet. And you know, if we're talking about cartoons like that, well, I mean, we could talk all day about them, but I'll just rattle some off the top of my head. See, you got the Wild Thornberries, you
Oh,
got Ren and
yeah.
Stimpy, right? And then you got Oreo Monsters, the
Oh,
Angry Beavers,
yes.
Doug. It's just it goes. Oh, and then this is a slightly little later, but God darn it, I still think of it as '90s. Uh, Possibly one of the best shows, most underrated shows of television cartoon history. Invader Zim.
Oh, Invader Zim, yeah. That's actually
That is.
that has a large cult following, and
Yeah, it does. It does because it's just so good. I and um the you know what is it? Mr. Vasquez is the creator.
yes, yes.
Yes, he does some of the more
Morbid.
cool,
Yeah.
morbid cartoons with his the Johnny. What is it? Oh, God, how could I forget the
Johnny
name?
Johnny Suicide?
No, Johnny the Homicidal
Oh,
Maniac.
there
That's
you
what it
go,
was.
sorry.
Yeah, that. But that tone is suicide is very much involved in his drawings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, think about the politics of what that means. Though that somebody like that could draw those kinds of things was allowed into the cartoons
Right.
studio network to
To
make a
actually do
show.
it.
Yeah, so they. What I'm trying to get at is that maybe the networks were more friendly towards creators, or maybe they weren't as worried about the politics of what could happen. Because
Um Damn, that's a good question. Maybe content wasn't so policed back then. I don't know. Cuz maybe there's more
Mhm.
rules and regulations now.
Yeah, I would feel like whatever you say the wrong thing, and you say like basically like anything that could do with endangerizing a child, then that automatically you get no-nos from parents nowadays. I guess.
Yeah.
Just everything is politically correct. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so just as we're talking, I was thinking of okay, there's two major things that both Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network created. First, since we're talking about morbid stuff, I think the most morbid cartoon I ever watched is a little show called The Oblongs on Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah.
Not necessarily 90s, but I'm getting to a point where I think in the 90s, Cartoon Network, I think they might have started Adult Swim. So
Yes, that was right at the cusp.
they went to the adult aspect of it, and Nickelodeon were also pioneers, and they invented, I think they started like kid cartooning, like infant toddler cartooning with Nick Jr.
Oh yes, yes.
So they definitely branched out into two different things, and I think both things definitely started in the 90s.
That's true. Yeah, that's right at the turn of the century, right there. I
Yeah,
guess.
into the 2000s.
Damn, that's crazy to think about how they branched off. That's really
Yeah,
strange.
because you mentioned Rugrats, and I think Rugrats was like first of the sort of the Nick Jr. lineup.
Really?
Yeah,
I never saw it as part of the Ninja lineup. I remember Little Bill.
yeah, Little
and Bear and
Bill.
the Big.
Then they got
Yeah,
Little
that.
Bill.
And then the Bernstein Bears, I think was or not. No, not that. There was another bear.
Oh, Little Bear, Little Bear.
Yeah, that's what it was. Do you remember when they I think Cartoon Network kind of had a mini spin-off of, well, No, it wasn't a spin-off of this. It was just obscure cartoons in the morning because I remember when I would be getting up to go to school at 6:30 or whatever. Sometimes I'd have enough time to turn on the TV and I would see like
Yes.
these really early morning cartoons like
Yes.
the what was the spin-off of Scooby Doo with
Oh,
his
Scrappy
pet
Doo?
Scrappy? What was that? A pup named Scooby Doo?
A pup named.
Maybe. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a
And then
pup named Scooby Doo.
oh, and then actually, now that you mentioned Scrappy, they also had the other cartoon show that did prominently feature Scrappy, right?
Yeah, it was like Scrappy Doo Puppy Power or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, they had these like really obscure early morning cartoons. I remember that was one
Yeah,
of my favorite memories. Oh man, so much to talk about.
there is.
That's why I say that Nickelodeon, they just so many memories, so many cartoons I can just remember off the top of my head. I miss so much. Do you want to talk a little bit about adult content?
Yeah, let's switch over to that because with Nickelodeon, wow, that's a hard question because I think with Nickelodeon you actually had more adult content back in the '90s than you did with Cartoon Network. I want to say
Yeah,
because well, especially in kids cartoons because you had Cat Dog. I thought was a little weird and adult.
yeah, that was a little weird. But you know what? Cartoon Network's answer to that was Cow and Chicken.
That is true. You're right. Okay. Wait, hold up. Uh, cow. Oh, okay. I was trying to do a chicken there. Wait. Maybe I can do cow. Chicken.
Oh, that's
Oh,
pretty good.
that
That's
was all
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. You know what was kind of strange? Never being able to see the parents, like their head.
Just the
Probably.
legs. Oh god, that's
Yeah,
creepy.
that is
Uh,
creepy.
I think like cat dog and definitely cow and chicken barred a lot from like Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yes, absolutely, you're correct. Oh, that's
Just
true. I never. Damn, that's a good analysis.
just in like content and it's kind of disturbing when you look back in some episodes.
There's a lot of asses in those episodes. A lot
Yeah.
of cracks in, in the
Yeah.
cow or the devil or
And
the
Ren and
eye and
Stimpy was
bamboo.
definitely Nickelodeon, I think.
Like I said, though, that's kind of what we were talking about. There's a lot of adult themes or just outright semi nudity. I guess.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
especially in Ren and
like
Stimpy.
yeah, I mean, so many freaking like firm butts. That's not normal.
Yeah, exactly. And in
It look,
Cow and Chicken, all the butts, like the devil had his butt out, and yeah,
yeah, and it was shiny too. Like they were
yeah.
not. They prominently placed down a pedestal. They didn't hide that away in some back character's corner. Yeah, but I mean, more than just the butts and stuff, they also had, like actual adult theme content, like my dad, kind of.
Well,
I
Ren
forget
went
what.
insane almost like every episode.
Right? That's
Yeah, and I was
pretty
kinda,
intense.
I remember being kinda unsettled by Ren. I was more of a Stimpy guy.
Yeah, I know he was just too anxious, and just God, I feel like that would give me a heart attack if I watched it now, which I do sometimes, and it's so funny because the shit that they do in there, like they had this episode where I recently watched where it was inferred that Ransom got adopted by this old lady, and it was
Yeah,
inferred that the old lady, like, just what she would do is adopt dogs, and just I guess eventually they would die because she wouldn't take care of them too well. And so, what happened is in this episode, Ren and Stimpy wanted to get away, and what I guess at the end they somehow got away, but the reason they got away was because the butler of the old lady like murdered her.
oh
And
man.
like, yeah, and so it's like, what the hell? And then
I actually
I
don't
guess,
remember that episode.
yeah, and then like he like ended up, I think he ended up like killing Ren and Stimpy too.
Oh crap.
Actually,
Yeah, there's a
yeah, it was
lot of
for.
like unreal endings to those episodes where they like die or something, but in the next episode they're alive.
Hmm. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of weird freaking things. Do you have a couple?
So one of my favorite episodes, I forget what Ren and Stimpy were trying to get. Maybe it's when they were rubber nipple salesmen and they were just trying to sell to a house. But I remember this one where, for some reason, the people who owned a house had a pet baboon for some reason in their front yard. and it was like the scariest baboon I ever seen in my life.
What the hell? That
Yeah, and
is.
like it would just like tear apart anything, and I like how on the show they match like the music. It's usually like upbeat and pleasant to like something horrific that you're watching.
I know. I can't.
So you'd
I
see
can't
like the
even.
bamboo rip up like a play doll, and then eventually it got its hands on Ren, and then it'd be the craziest thing you see, but with like nice pleasant music in the background.
Yeah. So definitely there runs to be had a lot of things that you know we would maybe not look upon too favorably in the production room of
Right,
some of these major studios
right.
today's world.
I want to
Um,
say there were some sexual innuendos, but I can't really remember any specific ones.
Sometimes the way that they would like draw the women,
Yes,
which is be like overly sexual, I
yes.
guess, like with their small waist and their you know big buttocks and yeah, just the lipsticks and such. I don't know. It's kind of like crazy. I'm looking at this website right now where they show like adult jokes and cartoons you didn't understand as a kid. It's like,
Is it a
remember
list?
the one? Yeah, there's a list. It's pretty funny. Like, there's a picture of like I don't know if you were a big fan of SpongeBob, were you? Because I did like some of the early SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, early
Just
SpongeBob. I guess SpongeBob still holds up now, but early
yeah,
SpongeBob's were the best.
yes, absolutely. There's this joke where SpongeBob goes to Patrick and he just says, "Patrick, your genius is showing." And then Patrick like bends over to cover his crotch. He's like, "Where? Your genius instead of penis? Your penis is showing." Oh, that's pretty.
It's pretty good. Yeah, a lot of yeah. There was I think in the early ones there's definitely more adult content in SpongeBob episodes than they are in the later ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's this funny oh man, there's this funny meme online where it shows freaking Mr. Crab and then and his daughter, and then it's pretty much like an equation. It says Mr. Crab plus, and it's just a blank image for the mother equals the daughter.
Like, what the hell made
Yeah,
that?
exactly. How is his daughter a whale? It's interesting.
I like the one where SpongeBob pretends to be watching sea porn. It's like a picture of like SpongeBob sitting on the couch, and then like it's a TV he's watching, and the TV is like this dancing like sea urchin, and then like Gary comes out of nowhere, and SpongeBob's like Gary, and then he's like, "I was just watching the sports channel, Gary," and he like quickly changes the channel.
Yes, that's definitely adult right there. Jesus.
But, yeah, I know. That's so
uh
funny though.
man.
There. All right. What else are we
We
things to
touched
talk
on a
about?
lot of things. Oh, okay. How about this? We talk about how Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon are doing now. Uh, cause I think I can name one redeeming show for Cartoon Network, and that would have to be Adventure Time.
Oh, that's good.
Adventure Time is kind of harkens back to the sort of weird adult themed. It has some adult content in it, but it's definitely something of its own, and it's different. Another one is Regular Show. I don't know if you ever heard of Regular Show. It's with
I
the
have heard of it.
bird and like the squirrel, and that's kind of reminds me of Ren and Stimpy. Just animals behaving like humans, and I think they even have jobs and stuff. But
Hmm.
everything else on Cartoon Network nowadays is just is ridiculous.
Yeah. Um, I can't. I haven't seen Cartoon Network in a while, but I do know those two shows. Actually, there is another show. I think it's kind of redeeming of Cartoon Network. That's current, and that's the new Teen Titans.
Oh yes, yes, Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, Teen Titans Go. That's pretty good. I saw some of their
That's
stuff.
yeah, that's pretty good. I
They're
like how they
pretty entertaining.
changed it from the sort of realistic Teen Titans one, and then they made Teen Titans Go, which is sort of hyper cartoony.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
know. I thought that was cool. It's like kind of anime-ish. more anime-ish than the other one.
Yeah. And then what for Nickelodeon do you think is a good show that's on the airs nowadays?
Dude, that's such a hard question because I can't.
Can't
I don't
look
even
at
know
it.
what's
It's too
on.
bad.
I don't. I just don't know what's on right now. Well,
uh,
there's still some SpongeBob, and I mean, like you said, it still
yeah.
holds up. Some of them for sure.
SpongeBob's great.
It still holds its own water. That's true. I don't know if the Fairly Odd Parents are still on TV, but that's a good one. I mean, it is
Yes.
started in 2001, but I mean, it's still good.
It's pretty good. So Fairly Odd Parents is created by Van Partible, who got his start, actually, believe it or not, at Cartoon Network as the creator of Johnny Bravo. And then now
Really?
he made the switch onto Nickelodeon with Fairly Odd Parents, and then eventually Danny Phantom.
Oh wow, he did Danny Phantom too, huh?
Yeah, I'm a big
crazy.
Van Partible fan. He actually teaches a cartooning class at Santa Barbara.
Really? What the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah. If I could draw, I'd be at UC Santa Barbara right now.
Dude, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't know
you're
that.
right. So yeah, Fairly Odd Parents is great. However, I did see or try to watch the live action one with Drake from Drake and Josh, and I wasn't really a fan of that movie.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't know. I felt like it was trying too hard, actually.
Oh, that's the worst kind. I'm okay with a bad movie if it's just bad, but when it's trying too hard,
Yeah.
that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, and they even did like a Christmas one too.
Really? They did?
Yeah.
Wait, really? With the same character? Actor?
Yeah, with Drake, and it's live action. And I think the premise of the first live action movie was Timmy's like almost at this stage where he has to get rid of his Fairly Odd Parents, but he ends up keeping them somehow. I forget how it happened.
Wait, that's kind of not. How the hell?
Yeah,
They
it's
just
not
break
fair,
all the
'cause, like-
rules. Because this one kid.
Wants to keep
Oh,
his
man.
parents, Fairly Odd Parents.
So it's a Fairly Odd Movie, Grow Up, Timmy Turner, and it's with Drake, who looks really strange.
Yeah, he doesn't really look like Timmy Turner. That would be an odd choice. I would actually do it more true to the cartoon and not have him as a teenager, but have him as like a kid. That would be better.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Just give us with the damn TV shows. You don't have to make everything so damn super realistic. We're not in a rush to grow up. Damn it. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
We want to stay young as long as we can. Sorry, this is the rant. Just annoying. Everybody's just trying to make kids into little adults. It's annoying. Let kids be kids.
You know what? I was thinking what would work as a movie, and please, if this becomes an actual movie, please credit this podcast and Zombies to Aliens for it. But when you said the name of the show, I was like, oh my god, that would be such a good live-action movie, if taken seriously, is Wild Thornberries.
Holy moly.
Could you
That
imagine?
would be really good. That would be crazy. So it'd be like kind of like a Dr. Doodle.
Yeah.
Or is it comedy, or are you thinking like more like
Oh.
holy shit, like we're in the middle of the jungle and then there's this lion and I need to find a way to talk to him so he doesn't eat us.
I would like, because I think the show was serious itself. It had serious problems, but it was still really funny. So I'd like there to be a balance. But if taken seriously, I think it would be great. And definitely not hard to do, because you can definitely animate some animals talking and stuff.
Oh yeah, that could be true. Damn, that's a good one.
Yeah. Get on it, Nickelodeon.
Get on it.
Nickelodeon
Yes.
movies, get on it. Damn it.
Absolutely. Damn, that's crazy. That's a good one. Yeah, I wish. Thing is, with a lot of these TV shows, unless if there's like a renaissance and people that are interested in the old TV shows, then they're not going to become popular enough to warrant any investment in.
Yes.
It's so sad.
Yes.
Man.
You know what? Maybe we'll save it for another podcast, but we didn't talk about anything WB related. And that was sort of its own thing, too. Those were the three. It was Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and WB. But only WB cartoons were definitely just Saturday morning cartoons. You couldn't watch them any time else.
Kind of like the Fox Box. There was a lot of great stuff.
Yeah,
in the
Fox
morning.
Box.
They had a lot of good Fox. Oh shit! Hold on. Did you hear any of that?
No,
So you just heard me scream and that's it?
I just heard you say, "Oh shit," yeah. And
That's
that
good.
is acceptable.
I clicked on this website because in our discussion of Nicktoons, I wanted to type in Nickelodeon reboots to see if there's anything
Oh,
coming
in
up
the
about that. And I clicked
Pipeworks.
on this website.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I clicked on the website and then this huge advertisement came on. She was, "Dream of this new car." And I was just like, whoa, because it was right in my ear muff.
At least it wasn't sea porn like SpongeBob.
Oh, yeah. Peter!
Well, yeah,
Alright,
maybe
so
we'll
wait,
do
what-
another episode where we talk about Warner Brothers and Fox.
Yeah, we could do like the small. Well, I guess they're not smaller, but then Saturday morning.
Yeah,
networks, I guess.
Saturday morning
There was-
cartoons.
There was also God Saturday morning closer. It wasn't that just life right there. It was just Slice of Paradise.
Yeah.
But wait, there was something else. Oh yeah, I don't know to an extent. Like we could even branch out to like completely other unrelated cartoon, traditionally known as cartoon TV networks, like ABC. Now you will not think of good programming.
That's
But
true.
they had some great stuff in the early days. Like there was a show. I don't know. Every time I talk to people about it, they never have heard of this show. I guess it was really on for a season, maybe. It was the Zack Files.
The Zack
really liked it.
Files. That sounds familiar. What was it about?
It was basically the premise is this young kid would basically be kind of like paranormal shit would go around him, and he'd have to go and investigate it. Kind of.
This was
It was
a
kinda like-
cartoon or sitcom?
This is a sitcom.
That does sound familiar. God.
Yeah, that was a cool show.
I'm sure if I saw his
'cause
face, I'd remember it.
Yeah. Oh, and then like speaking of like little weird things, there was also like, or even the younger generation, older generation now, I guess, younger than was damn it, come on, Zoom. I was gonna sing the theme song.
Oh, yeah?
Zoom. You ever seen that show?
That sounds familiar.
Oh well,
I don't-
that was a pretty cool show.
Was
it was
it?
like on PBS.
Oh, I got you. I got an obscure one for you that not too many people have watched. Is one that was completely computer generated. Actually, might have been one of the first computer generated cartoons. Is a show called Reboot. Have you ever watched that?
Reboot? No.
Yeah, it was about.
I have
It's
not.
kind of like if you ever seen Disney's Tron. It's kind of like about computer programs in this like virtual world, and Reboot was like the main character's name, and he was basically a superhero, so he had to take out like computer viruses and stuff.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah.
He was a hero because he could like fix computers.
Pretty much. Well, he was a program inside a computer world.
That's cool. That sounds awesome. But like, think about like how silly it sounds. Like,
Yeah, I know
you see the
nowadays.
Fairbanks. And I'm seeing there's somebody called Megabyte.
Megabyte.
You remember him?
I think
Is
that was
a
the
show?
villain. Yeah.
That's funny. That show looks so strange.
It is the colors are really crazy.
Yeah.
But it was one of the
saturation.
first like computer graphics things that I watched. And speaking of that, Nintendo started coming out with TV shows. Well, everyone remembers Pokemon, but one of the first ones was Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong was computer graphics.
Oh yeah.
That was on, I want to say Fox, but maybe it was Fox, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right. Let's see how long have we been?
We good. We did
Pretty good.
at least 45 minutes now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
Well, anything else you wanna?
well, I'd
add
like
to
to
the
end
conversation?
every episode with the Wheel of Morality. I don't know if were you a big Anime X fan back in the day, Tony?
Yeah, I did watch some of them. I wasn't huge, but I do remember like occasionally watching them.
Yes.
Like I definitely know about them.
I actually learned my states and my countries from freaking Yakko doing the songs for the states and the countries.
I remember those.
I learned a lot
remember
from that show. It actually was educational, damn it.
I know.
But at the end of the episode, they would do a Wheel of Morality where they would do like the lesson for each episode. And of course, all the lessons were unrelated. So I would like to do that for us, and we can come up with, if you want, I can just make up one for this first podcast, and you'll do the next one.
Alright, or we could just do one each if you want.
Alright, that sounds... No, you get 2 morals for this podcast,
You get 2 morals.
Alright.
That's how much packing we're having.
Alright, let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Alright, moral number 56. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah! Woo! That's a very important moral, and you guys need to, do as the moral says, because if you don't, then...
Don't smoke a pipe without anything in it, I guess.
If you're gonna have a pipe, might as well use it. I mean, otherwise you look like a douchebag.
Yeah.
Just do it. It's cool. It's cool to smoke, kids.
Wait a second.
Wait.
Yeah,
I take that back. Wait,
okay.
No, that's not what I meant. Okay.
Alright, let's spin the wheel again. Alright, moral number 12.
Okay, moral number 12. If your friend tells you if he could borrow your pods, just say no, otherwise he's gonna keep them forever.
Damn, that's good. That's true. I am missing some pogs.
I know.
Oh man, that was a 90s thing. Oh god, I love pogs.
Yeah, they were so awesome. I mean,
I had some good slammers.
I remember, man, even food used to be better in the 90s, because virtually everything would come over prize. Your chips would come over prize, your cereal box would come over prize. Dang it, even the freaking toys in the drive-thru were awesome.
Yes, they are better quality, I think.
Better quality.
Yeah.
Man, back in the day, we used to have real plastic in our toys.
Yeah.
None of this.
None of these fake
paper.
plastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this? We didn't get an apple, we got freaking fries.
Exactly, that's right, exactly. Alright, I think that was pretty good.
Alright, signing off. Alright, thanks guys.
Thanks, guys.